Well, look, Laura, traditionally this has been a pretty strong, safe Labor seat, but people are waking up to a Labor Party that has left behind their own jobs, their own futures, and we saw that at the last election. Look, no one really thought we had much of a go in a seat like Hunter last time, but we saw the results where I am here today in central Queensland, and the results in the Hunter, where it was very close in the end. And you know, I think people are desperate for a party that's willing to fight for them, willing to go into battle for them in Canberra and fight for their futures and their jobs, and that's what we've done here in central Queensland. I'm a frequent visitor to the Hunter, know the area very well. It's got the world's best thermal coal, and I'm not shy about saying that. It is the world's best thermal coal, and the more of it we mine, the better it will be for the world, because it will displace dirty, less clean coal overseas. So I want to see more coal be mined in the Hunter. I want to see us build coal-fired power stations, because it's better if we manufacture goods here rather than them use dirty coal overseas to manufacture goods and us just import it. And that's why I'm going down and joining a number of my Nationals colleagues to back that industry and back the jobs of the people in towns like Singleton and Muswellbrook and right through the Hunter.
Well, who are you targeting? Are you targeting Labor and Joel Fitzgibbon, or the Coalition New South Wales government?
What I'm targeting is a future for the great Australian workers in the mining industry in the Newcastle and Hunter region. That's what I'm targeting. That's why I'm passionate about pushing this cause, because I do think the mining industry provides, or it does provide really well-paid jobs for people. It does put food on the table for our country. It does provide tax revenues for us to fund public services. So we should be supporting and fighting for that industry. I'm also concerned. It's not a partisan thing. I criticise the Labor Party for not backing these jobs, but I'm also critical of the New South Wales government, government of my colour, but at the moment who's putting in a quasi-carbon tax to try and pay off renewable energy. I mean, we're constantly told, Laura,
how does it equate to a carbon tax?
Because what this scheme sets up, that the New South Wales government is proposing, is they're going to have this customer or consumer trustee decide how much renewables needs to go into the New South Wales electricity network. And if those renewables need some extra money, which they obviously do think they do, given they're setting this up, they need some extra money, then a levy will be placed right across the distribution network of New South Wales. And of course, that will be paid through your power bills. If you live in Sydney or in regional New South Wales, you'll be paying for renewables.
Is there any point, Matt Canavan, where you can pursue renewables without it being the antithesis of coal or labelled a carbon tax, do you think?
Well, this is the point here, Laura. We are constantly told that renewables are cheaper than coal, and if somehow people are going to rush to invest in them without government subsidies or without the need for taxes being placed on electricity bills. Now, if they were cheaper, if it was true that solar power was cheaper than coal, why do they need a tax in New South Wales to prop the investments up? If they were cheaper,
don't you still have
there would be no need for a levy or a tax to being imposed. Sorry, I just missed that question.
Don't you still have a renewable energy target at a federal level?
No, that finishes this year. The renewable energy target finishes this year. It does continue to pay for those who have made investments up to this year until 2030, and I don't think we should remove something that was put in the past. That would retrospectively be wrong for those investors that have gone before. But we're finishing that, and the reason so that New South Wales seem to be doing this is because the renewable energy target finishes this year. All these renewable energy investors, surprise, surprise, have gone to the New South Wales government, gone to Matt Canavan and said, "Oh, we need some money. We need some money from the consumers of the hard-suffering consumers of New South Wales electricity. We need more taxes on your electricity bills." Now, I don't think we should be putting taxes on people's electricity bills. I think this is a mistake from the New South Wales government, and I hope they back out of it, because it goes against everything which we're trying to do with the electricity network. That's why Angus Taylor has raised concerns with it. The New South Wales government hasn't released the modelling behind their legislation. They haven't consulted with some of the big energy companies like AGL or Delta Electricity, and they risk making exactly the same mistakes we did make with the renewable energy target, which caused the lights to go out in South Australia.